Chapter 2, The Name of God. It cannot be stated too often that consciousness is the one and only reality. For this is the truth that sets man free. This is the foundation upon which the whole structure of biblical literature rests. The stories of the Bible are all mystical revelations written in an Eastern symbolism, which reveals to the intuitive the secret of creation and the formula of escape. The Bible is man's attempt to express in words the cause and manner of creation. Man discovered that his consciousness was the cause or creator of his world. So, he proceeded to tell the story of creation in a series of symbolical stories known to us today as the Bible. I love that he calls the Bible a series of mystical revelations written in Eastern symbolism, which reveal two things. One, the secret of creation, and two, the formula of escape. The Bible is man's attempt to express in words the cause and manner of creation. So he's talking about how the Bible is a story of creation, or a story of how to use consciousness to create the world, told in symbolical stories that are all wrapped together and published as one unit, which is the Bible. Fascinating way to say it. To understand this greatest of books, you need a little intelligence and much intuition. Intelligence enough to enable you to read the book, and intuition enough to interpret and understand what you read. You may ask why the Bible was written symbolically. Why was it not written in a clear, simple style, so that all who read it might understand it? To these questions, I reply that all men speak symbolically to that part of the world which differs from their own. So he says that you need intelligence and intuition in order to understand the Bible, the greatest of books. Intelligence so that you can read it, and intuition so that you can interpret and understand what you read. And so he says, many people would ask, well, why didn't they just write the Bible clearly in a simple style so that everyone could understand it? And he says, all men speak symbolically when they're talking about a part of the world that differs from their own. So when they're talking about something other than what they're presently experiencing, they have to speak symbolically. Simply, it's just a convention, cultural convention, if you will. It's something we have to do. We have to use symbolism to describe things that are outside of our normal experience. So hence the Bible using metaphorical stories to describe things. How else would it be described? Symbolism would be kind of a natural language to describe these things with. The language of the West is clear to us of the West, but it is symbolic to the East, and vice versa. An example of this can be found in the Easterner's instruction, "If thine hand offend thee, cut it off." He speaks of the hand, not as a hand of the body, but as any form of expression. And thereby, he warns you to turn from that expression in your world which is offensive to you. At the same time, the man of the West would unintentionally mislead the man of the East by saying, "This bank is on the rocks." For the expression "on the rocks" is to the Westerner equivalent to bankruptcy, while a rock to an Easterner is a symbol of faith and security. "I will like unto him a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock." To really understand the message of the Bible, you must bear in mind that it was written by the Eastern mind, and therefore cannot be taken literally by those of the West. Biologically, there is no difference between the East and the West. Love and hate are the same. Hunger and thirst are the same. Ambition and desire are the same. But the technique of expression is vastly different. The first thing you must discover if you would unlock the secret of the Bible is the meaning of the symbolic name of the Creator, which is known to all as Jehovah. This word, Jehovah, is composed of the 4 Hebrew letters Yod, He, Vav, He. The whole secret of creation is concealed within this name. The first letter, Yod, represents the absolute state, or consciousness unconditioned, the sense of undefined awareness, that all-inclusiveness out of which all creation or conditioned states of consciousness come. In the terminology of today, Yod is I am, or unconditioned consciousness. The second letter, He, represents the only begotten Son, a desire, an imaginary state. It symbolizes an idea, a defined subjective state, or clarified mental picture. The third letter, Vav, symbolizes the act of unifying or joining the conceiver, Yod, to the consciousness desiring to the conception, He, the state desired, so that the conceiver and the conception become one. Fixing a mental state, consciously defining yourself as the state desired, impressing upon yourself the fact that you are now that which you imagined or conceived as your objective, is the function of Vav. It nails or joins the consciousness desiring to the thing desired. The cementing or joining process is accomplished subjectively by feeling the reality of that which is not yet objectified. Again, fixing a mental state, consciously defining yourself as the state desired, impressing upon yourself the fact that you are now that which you imagined or conceived as your objective, is the function of Vav. It nails or joins the consciousness desiring to the thing desired. The cementing or joining process is accomplished subjectively by feeling the reality of that which is not yet objectified. Okay, so he's working his way through the letters, which together create the Hebrew name that you and I generally pronounce as Jehovah. So he's saying that the first letter, Yod, is that unconditioned awareness, just your state of awareness of being, without any conditions or layers or identities layered on top of that. Second letter is He, which is what you desire to create, an imaginary state. So Yod is just your awareness. He is what you're desiring to create. Vow is the act of unifying those states together. It says it nails or joins the consciousness desiring to the thing desired. And he says that the way that vow does that, the way that vow unites the Yod and He, the way it feels when you're actually doing this process, says it's accomplished subjectively. When he says subjectively, he's talking about what your actual experience is. He says it's accomplished subjectively by feeling the reality of that which is not yet objectified. So it's this whole idea of creating the state of awareness of being before there's evidence around you that that state is true. So it's about being able to create the feeling subjectively first. That's what the Yod, He, Vow, He process symbolizes. And so far we've covered the Yod, He, Vow. We're about to cover the fourth letter, He. The fourth letter, He, represents the objectifying of this subjective agreement. The Yod, He, Vow makes man, or the manifested world, He, in the image and likeness of itself, the subjective, conscious state. Again, the Yod, He, Vow makes man, or the manifested world, He, in the image and likeness of itself, the subjective, conscious state. So, the function of the final He is to objectively bear witness to the subjective state Yod, He, Vow. Conditioned consciousness continually objectifies itself on the screen of space. The world is the image and likeness of the subjective conscious state which created it. The visible world of itself can do nothing. It only bears record of its creator, the subjective state. It is the visible Son, He, bearing witness of the invisible Father, Son, and Mother, Yod, He, Vow, a holy trinity which can only be seen when made visible as man or manifestation. Okay, so Yod, He, Vow, he's describing as the Holy Trinity. And the Holy Trinity, which is your consciousness of being, what you desire to be, and then the unification of those two things to objectify into the final state, which is the final He, which is the actual manifestation and being able to see in the visible world the first three states. Okay, so it's your consciousness of awareness of being, then it's this imaginary state that you wish to make real, then it's vow, what cements those two states together, and then the final He is the objective realization in the world of form of those first three states together. It says, the visible world of itself can do nothing. It only bears record of its creator, the subjective state. So again, he's saying that everything that you observe in the visible world is created out of your conscious state of being, your conscious awareness of being. What you see in the world is a result of what you believe yourself to be. It's the outer manifestation of what you believe yourself to be. It is the visible Son, He, bearing witness of the invisible Father, Son, Mother, Yad, He, Ve, a holy trinity which can only be seen when made visible as man or manifestation. So if it's a man exhibiting a certain state, that's how a trinity is made visible. And when it's a manifestation, which would be like a thing or an object or a place, something like that, that would be the manifestation aspect of the Holy Trinity. Your unconditioned consciousness, Yad, is your I am, which visualizes or images a desirable state, He, and then becomes conscious of being that state, imagined by feeling and believing itself to be the imagined state. The conscious union between you who desire and that which you desire to be is made possible through the vow, or your capacity to feel and believe. Believing is simply living in the feeling of actually being the state imagined, by assuming the consciousness of being the state desired. Again, the conscious union between you who desire and that which you desire to be is made possible through the vow, or your capacity to feel and believe. Believing is simply living in the feeling of actually being the state imagined, by assuming the consciousness of being the state desired. The subjective state, symbolized as Yad He Vow, then objectifies itself as He, thereby completing the mystery of the Creator's name and nature. Yad He Vow He, Jehovah. Yad is to be aware. He is to be aware of something. Vow is to be aware as, or to be aware of being, that which you were only aware of. The second He is your visible objectified world, which is made in the image and likeness of the Yad He Vow, or that which you are aware of being. Okay, this is a good one here. So he breaks down the letters again. Yad, He, Vow, He, Jehovah, to describe how they explain the nature of the Creator and the Creator's name. So he says, the subjective state, which is symbolized by Yad, which is your I am, He, your desirable state, vow, your ability to feel and believe that desirable state, then objectifies itself into your actual world to be experienced as the final He, which then completes the mystery of the Creator's name and nature, Yad, He, Vow, He, Jehovah. Then I'm going to read this part again. It says, Yad is to be aware, He is to be aware of something. Vow is to be aware of being that which you were only aware of. So you can be aware of something, but then you can also be aware of being something. And the vow is to be aware of being that something. And then the last He is your visible objectified world, which is made in the image of the Yad He Vow, or that which you are aware of being. And that's the recipe for how the objective world reflects back to you, or is the mirrored self of the subjective state that you live in. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." Let us, Yad He Vow, make the objective manifestation, He, in our image, the image of the subjective state. The world is objectified likeness of the subjective conscious state in which consciousness abides. Again, the world is the objectified likeness of the subjective conscious state in which consciousness abides. This understanding that consciousness is the one and only reality is the foundation of the Bible. The stories of the Bible are attempts to reveal in symbolic language the secret of creation, as well as to show man the one formula to escape from all his own creations. This is the true meaning of the name of Jehovah, the name by which all things are made, and without which there is nothing made that is made. First, you are aware. Then, you become aware of something. Then, you become aware as that which you were aware of. Then, you behold objectively that which you are aware of being. And that is the end of chapter 2. First, you are aware. Then, you became aware of something. Then, you become aware as that something, your being that something. Then, you behold objectively that which you are aware of being. So I'm going to translate this again. So first, you are aware. I am awareness, unconditioned awareness. Before I am aware of being this form and image and likeness, I am simply aware of being. Then, I become aware of being a wealthy man. Then, I become aware of being that which I was only aware of. So let's back this up then. So first I'm just aware, then I'm aware of wealth. Then I am aware of being wealth. And then finally, I become aware of wealth manifesting objectively into my world. That's a little clearer way to describe that. The stories of the Bible are attempts to reveal in symbolic language the secret of creation, as well as to show man the one formula to escape from all of his own creations. All right, and that is the end of chapter 2. Subscribe to this channel so that you will receive notifications on your device when new Neville Goddard content is posted.